Hey guys, Harry here, and we're back with another video. This is a video of me pointing up about 400 bricks, which I laid last video. I said in the last video I'd make a video on pointing, but I ended up recording a 22-minute video on it, and then I was rambling through most of it, and I was like, why am I speaking about pointing for 22 minutes? It's ridiculous. So I sped the video. I sped all the footage up 2 times. It's only a 9-minute video, so I'm going to talk as long. I'm going to go through a few of the tips that I like to do when I'm pointing up, and what have helped make my work stand out and be a bit neater than the rest of the brickwork I come across. And I'm not saying that I'm the neatest bricklayer of all time. I'm definitely not, but I think I've got some of the neatest jointing I've seen on most sites that I go on, and my jointing hides a lot of sins when it comes to brickwork, because I'm not going to lie, I've sometimes built things a little bit out of plumb, a few mil here and there, stuff a little bit out of level here and there, stuff's crept up, and my pointing saved my arse. No one's ever really checked my brickwork, no one's ever really had to, I've never had to have any of my brickwork took down, I've never had to alter anything massively, apart from a course or so when something's been to wrong height. But I know jointing is an afterthought for a lot of bricklayers. They tend to rush, get the fucking get them. Sorry, I'm going to try swear less as well. Get the brickwork up, quick rush to the end of the day, and then quickly joint up, quick stroke the joint over everything. No topping and tailing. Quick, get the rough brush on it, brush it over, and it just spoils the end product at the end of the day. Your jointing is the first thing people see. As an old bricklayer said to me before, you take time over your jointing, and you don't have to have the best brickwork in the world, but if you joint it well, it'll hide a lot of sins. So this can instantly improve your work, no matter how good of a bricklayer you are. No matter how accurate you are, how fast you are, how experienced you are, how much of a novice or how you've just started. If you just joint your brickwork a little bit more neat, a little bit neater, it'll instantly make your work, it'll instantly up the standard of your work straight away without you really learning any new skills. Because, when it comes to bricklaying, everything takes time. Everyone any bricklayer you'll ask will tell you that. But, developing your speed can take years. Developing new techniques can take years. Mastering reading drawings can take years. Mastering the way you attempt builds and how you execute jobs will take years to become proficient and fast at. But jointing up, you can get faster at it over time, not going to lie. I always sort of thought myself pretty quick at jointing up, but then I've seen people who joint up a lot quicker than I do. But I sort of think maybe I make a better job than most people at jointing. It's just a clue, but at the end of the day, what will apply to jointing is the longer you spend on it, the better it'll look. So if you can get technique down, which I'm going to talk about today, should hopefully help you guys make a neater job of any brickwork you're attempting. Or even guys who've done it a long time, maybe you could just make your work a little bit neater, pay off in the long run. So as you can see, do all my perp joints first. A lot of bricklayers do it this way, very efficient. Do all the perp joints first, then I like to do a square metre at a time of the bed joints. And every bed joint I do, I just run my jointer just above, on the perps above that bed joint, and just top them all. So you're technically topping. You're not actually topping and tailing, but you're sort of tailing and topping. So I call it tail and topping. So you're doing your tails at the bottom with your bed joint, then you're just topping them all off, giving that nice jointer effect to each top of every perp. It might take you, in this video, it was like a 23-minute raw clip of me jointing up. Maybe I could have done it quicker by about 5 minutes if I'd have not topped and tailed all my joints. But that topping really just gives it a better effect at the end. I know some guys use a sponge or a brush to top and tail the work afterwards. I use a brush. I like to brush the joints and take off the sharp edges at the end. But I have even found with a brush, it doesn't top and tail your bricks as effectively. You can really brush hard to try and top and tail your bricks, but a lot of the time it brushes off that nice half round effect that you get off your joint. It just brushes it off, and it just doesn't make your brickwork stand out as well, and it doesn't make it look as neat from someone just looking at it with a naked eye. So that's what I recommend. You can see the technique I'm using throughout the video. It's helped me out, you know, topping tailing as you go, doing a metre square at a time with your bed joints after you've done your perps, and especially even when it's dry, just brushing off after you've done every metre square, just brush it off, move on. Especially with garages, where, you know, like with a single skin garage where you're pointing both sides of the brick. I've heard ridiculous things about people pointing the back side of the garage with a glove, doing this, doing that, and, you know, and even rubbing the brickwork off with your glove. I've tried all those techniques, and nothing beats old school topping and tailing. You know, doing it as you go is the biggest thing that will increase your efficiency and speed. I've heard every trick under the sun of trying to make your brickwork neat, but a lot of the time it is conditions dependent, especially with your brickwork. You know, a lot of these methods with a glove or the brush or the sponge, it depends on if you've got wet bricks, dry bricks, and you know, if your joints have gone off, if they haven't gone off. But this, what I'm showing you right now, you can do it on piss wet brickwork and you can do it on dry brickwork, and it will give you the similar effect. Obviously, laying a wet brick, it'll never look as neat as laying a dry brick, but you can get it pretty damn fucking close with this method of jointing, with doing the tops as you go. And it just gives you an overall more repeatable method of jointing in a neat fashion as you're jointing. A lot of people do all the beds after the perps and then top and tail afterwards. But then you're going back, and I find myself dizzy looking at joints all over, trying to just pick out the ones that need topping and tailing most. If you just do them as you go, sometimes as I'm going, I don't even stroke my joints on every perp. I just move it in the vicinity as like muscle memory. But it's a real game changer, and it takes an extra 5 or 10 minutes to make such a better job of your work. You know, I'm not one of these people. I'm not going to lie, I'm not a fucking neat freak. I'm not a perfectionist. I know things aren't going to be perfect. This jointing I've done today, I've missed little bits on the corners, especially your corners of your house and your irises. You're always going to miss bits, especially if you had a profile up. You can't get stuff 100% perfect every time. But if you make the 95% or 99% of your work look neatly jointed and look really neat, no one's going to put a level up it, no one's going to scrutinise it, your eye's going to be drawn to the good bits of the brickwork. But if you rush it, get a too stiff a brush to brush off with, you know, rush your jointing, make a pig's ear of your jointing, tram lines everywhere, you know, it's going to be highlighted straight away. Someone's going to look at it, say, that don't look very good, let's fucking have a, you know, let's put a level up, let's you know, let's keep on top of these guys, let's let's keep an eye on them. You'll end up getting hassled by management, etc, and at the end of the day, you're not creating as much, you're not creating as high a standard of work. So definitely a tip for free, doing, you know, spending an extra 10 minutes on your jointing. You know what I mean? Stop laying a fucking 5 minutes sooner and just take that extra bit of time. Pay off in the long run. Them extra 10 bricks you'd have laid, or an extra fucking 15 or 20 bricks you'd have laid, you know. I'll never forget when I got pulled over by management once, because this were about 6 years ago when I was not as experienced. I rushed my jointing. I got pulled over. They said, "Oh, this looks a bit, you know, naff. These bricks need jointing properly. You need to top and tail them. This isn't a brick you can get away with just brushing." You know, I never forget that, and it stuck with me to this day. So, thanks all for watching, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. It's a bit of a tedious one to make because I don't like pointing myself. It's not one of my favourite things to do, but I hope you guys got what you could from it, and hope you enjoyed the content. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.